Hi, everybody. How we doing? Happy Fearless Friday. So we had a little change of plans today. We were supposed to have Ron Shapiro this week. However, he's feeling a little under the weather. So I thought that I would pop on here and continue on from last week. I gave you guys a sneak peek into the masterclass we have coming up. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit more of that. So today I want to talk about goal setting. We're going to talk about how to set a goal, how to set a SMART goal. So it's going to be really fun. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's take a look at, hang on a second, share screen. Okay, so last week we talked about my blueprint for my Obsessed with Success blueprint to maximize your potential and your income in network marketing. So for my network marketing friends, we talked about me. We talked about Kiki. So let's just really briefly go over that. So what are we really selling? You are selling a solution, right? A solution to a problem that your clients have. So when you think of, the problem that your product or service solves, and you pose it to your potential client that way. For those of you that feel like salesy, like, oh, I don't like to sell, I'm not salesy. Don't think of the traditional what do you call it? The traditional view of selling, right? So it's not the slick back hair, sleazy car salesman, right? It's more about connecting with the person and letting them know that the product or service that you sell can solve a problem that they have. So we talked about that. We talked about being an entrepreneur. And today we're going to talk about pursuing everything that you want, your goals, your dreams, everything. So when you start your journey, I want you to think about I know people say, define your why, write your story, write your I story, something like that. So this is sort of along that line. So some things that I want you to think about when you start this journey. So define your elephant, right? So there's a method to this madness. So what is your number one goal or dream that you want to get out of your business, right? Make it as big as you want. If you're like, I want a mansion on the water in the Caribbean, that's totally fine. I want to buy a bigger house. I want to earn enough that my husband can retire early. I want to travel 3 weeks a year. I want to own a beach house before I'm 40. That one's mine. I'm running out of time too. So, think of all those things, and that is, let your imagination run wild. You don't have to, there's no parameter to this. It's what do you want out of your life? And then let's figure out how we can get it, right? So feel free to dream, right? Okay, so now think about your why. So the elephant and the why are a little bit different. The elephant is like your ultimate goal, right? I want to live in Hawaii and, whatever it is, right? And your elephant goal is about you. It's very personal to you. It's what do you want from your life? What do you want to do with your life? So on and so forth. So, and I'm not saying it can't be like, I want my kids to, have, a college fund with $1 million in it. I mean, it can still be an extension of you, but it's very personal to you. So your why is, so the elephant is the what, and the why is the why are we going to do this? Okay, so what do we want to do, and then why do we want to do it? Because people say if your why is big enough, you'll go to any length to get the what done, right? So, excuse me. Why are you doing this? What attracted you to the business? What is going to keep you going day in and day out, right? I've heard people say your why should make you cry. But even if it doesn't, it has to be big enough that when you get out of bed every morning, you want to work your business day in and day out, right? Because we all know, and we've all had this happen, and you may even be this person, and that's okay. But we all know that some people that enter a network marketing business, they enter it with big dreams and big goals. They don't make a plan, or they make a decent plan, but they don't work it, and they don't know why they're doing it. So they fizzle out, right? And that's okay. It's just being laser focused and crystal clear on what you want and why you want it. So some people say your why should make you cry, but make sure that whatever it is, you're like, okay, this is like, your elephant should be a game changer, a life changer, right? What is going to get you out of bed every day and say, you know what, 10 people said no to me yesterday, but today I'm going to wake up and I'm going to ask 10 more people to have a party. So think about that. Then how far do you want to take it? There's no wrong answer here. Don't be afraid to give an honest answer. In fact, I love when people say, I want to be a 7-figure earner. I want to break records. I want to be a top earner in my company. I want to be a national. I want to grow a team of 10,000. I want to quit my day job. I want to retire at 40. Let's do it. Let's get it. Come on, girls. Let's get it. Let's get it. This group started off as Get It Girls. Let's get it. So there's no reason why you can't do any of those things that I just said. That might scare you to death, right? I want to become a national director. I want to break records. I want to have a team of 10,000. You might be like, I have no idea how I am going to do that. Well, let me tell you, there are people out there that have done it, and they're just like you and me, right? They're ordinary people that did extraordinary things. So, once you have these answers, right? And remember, there's no wrong answers. This is your life. You're going to design your life. Write them down on paper, or write them down on a computer or whatever, and then plaster it everywhere, right? Shout it from the rooftops. Tell everyone what you're working for. Your goals are yours, and you should be constantly seeing it, thinking about it, talking about it, and asking the universe for it. What does that mean? Obsessed with success. You have to be obsessed with this goal, right? Obsessed with it. Because if you're not, it's not going to happen. No one's going to make this happen for you except you. So this should say, be obsessed with success. So let's talk about how you define your elephant. Okay. So your elephant is your biggest goal, your scariest dream. Some people call it a big, hairy, audacious goal. I remember that from a training. This is your end game, and you totally can do it. Like, you totally can. Other people have done it, and why not you? Right? So why is it an elephant? Okay, so y'all know that I have a Mary Kay background. So one of Mary Kay's, it's a phrase that I love and hate at the same time. It's from Mary Kay Ash, who was also, by the way, love her or hate her, I love her company or not, she was one of the greatest female entrepreneurs of all time. That's from like Forbes magazine and, you know, some pretty reputable sources. And so in her book, she says you can eat an elephant, but one bite at a time. I don't know about you, but I'm not in the business of eating elephants, but I am in the business of crushing my goals. So take your elephant, your big goal, your big scary goal, and then break it down into small bite-sized pieces. So we call them short-term goals. Then you crush those short-term goals every single day, day in, day out, until it gets you closer to the big one. So that's why it's, your elephant goal. So if you don't like elephants, that's totally fine. You can call it, your ladder, your giant ladder in the sky. I mean, call it anything you want. I don't care. I just want you to have a long-term, clear goal and vision. And then I want you to break it down into small steps that you can achieve. Every little step gets you closer, right? Every little step. And celebrate all those wins in between, because there's no reason why, if you're like, okay, I've got to book 5 parties a week, I've got to talk to 25 people, you can set those little micro goals. And every time you achieve one, pat yourself on the back, girls and guys, pat yourself right on the back, because the only person that's going to keep you motivated in this whole thing is you, right? So let's talk about setting those goals. All goals are SMART goals. I'm sure you've heard this before. A dream without a plan, it's just a wish, right? So don't wish for things, work for them, right? Stop wishing and start doing. Any dream that you have is attainable with time, effort, and work. So break down your goals. So SMART goals are realistic, tangible statements that will give you focus and direction. So you want them to be specific. So when you write a goal, be specific as possible, be detailed. Who's going to be involved in achieving the goal? How are you going to accomplish it? Set a time limit. Describe why it's important to you. The motivation behind the goal will be just as important as the mechanics of the goal. So let's say you're a real estate agent and you want to be a successful buyer's agent. So one goal might be, oh, I'm sorry. Let's say you're a network marketing superstar. You're a network marketer, you want to be a superstar. So one goal might be, I'll have 3 parties booked by the 31st and 2 team members by the 15th. So clearly I need to fix this because this is incorrect. See, we adjust to be correct on the fly. It's all good. We don't have to be perfect. So that goal should be measurable as well. So those have to be objective. So measurements track progress towards your goal. So it helps you stay motivated. So a measurable goal is, I'll hold 3 parties each month consistently, month in and month out. And then set things that are attainable. Create goals in which each step leads to the next, and in which individual goals are attainable in the short term. So the short-term goals link together. They're the rungs of the ladder that get you to the long-term goal. So you might have to start with, okay, right now my first goal is to book 3 parties and have 2 team members by the end of the month. My second goal is to have 5 parties a month and add 2 more team members. My next goal is to, so keep linking them together so that it gets to the ultimate end game. And these should be attainable, right? So you don't want to say, okay, it's my first month, I want to book 50 parties and I'm going to have 17 people join my team. I mean, that's not setting you up for success, right? I mean, that's great. If you can do that, I mean, please do it. Like, there's other people that have done it, but I think you need to realistically think about actually that's the next one, realistic. So attainable and realistic kind of go hand in hand. So set your goals based on your strengths and your weaknesses. So if you're not good at budgeting, create goals that take that weakness into consideration. And then the goal is to build the skill necessary to overcome that weakness. And that makes it attainable. So, all right, so what does this mean? So for example, let's keep with this example. I'm going to have 3 parties a month and 2 team members a month, right? So it's measurable. 3 parties, 2 team members, so on and so forth. That's an attainable goal. Now, let's say you don't like to go out and network, or you don't want to do in-person parties. So is that goal attainable? And is it realistic, right? So maybe your goal is to maybe you adjust that goal to, I'm going to hold 3 virtual parties each month. And I'm going to work on my public speaking skills so that I can transition back into doing live in-person parties. Maybe it's, I'm afraid talking to people. I'm afraid, I have anxiety about standing in front of a group, whether it's on Zoom or whether it's in person. So that realistic goal is to practice doing your demo, doing your party on Zoom, practice in front of your friends and your family doing that. I remember when I started with Mary Kay, I booked my first party and I had no idea what I was going to do. So I went to my mother-in-law's house with my daughter was there. She was like, I don't know, 2 at the time. And I did the whole demo, the whole 9 with the flip chart and everything to my mother-in-law and my daughter who was playing with the dog bowls and the dogs were barking. I mean, it was insane, right? It was like being in a tornado. But I got through my whole demo and I said all the words and I didn't skip any parts. And my party went awesome. So, practice makes perfect. So, and then timely. So a goal is a dream that has a deadline. Okay. So my goal of I want to have a beach house by 40, that has a deadline. I want to become a team leader by month 4, that has a deadline, right? So each goal should have a time that it's going to be accomplished. Deadlines are going to create urgency for you, and they're going to motivate you to keep on going and to achieve your goals. So that is a SMART goal. So let's do this one. So I'm going to give you a really juicy, valuable secret that I've learned after I don't know, how long have I been in the industry? It's in my blood because my mom and my dad were always into network marketing and direct sales. But I think you guys, I think the biggest secret I can tell you all is that this game is won in your mind first. It's true. I mean, you've heard about manifesting and, positivity and mindset. I mean, this is like the ultimate mindset, right? So Mary Kay, again, near and dear to my heart, said, if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're right. Okay. So the hard truth is that what you tell yourself is what you believe. Perception is reality. What you perceive, you believe. And what we say to ourselves matters. So if you tell yourself, so you gotta think about how you talk to yourself. What are the things that you're saying that you're feeding your brain? Because your brain is going to believe it. They don't know any better. So if you're telling yourself, I can't do this, you're right. This is too hard. Yep. I won't be able to do the work needed. I'll try to hit my goal. You're probably going to miss. I'm not good enough. I can't, I won't, or any of the other self-deprecating crappy lies we tell ourselves, right? You really believe that crap? No way. Listen, I learned this early on and it has fueled my network marketing business. It's fueled everything that I've done, and it's fueled my current business. You will not find a person that can transition into being a positive, goal-oriented person faster than me. I don't, can't, won't, I'll try. No, can't replace the words can't, won't, and try to can, will, and must. Okay. So if you don't believe me, then spend 15 to 30 minutes a day reading, watching, or listening to something motivation. So some of the things that I love listening to, I love Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Dean Graziosi, Mel Robbins, Romy Neustadt. If you don't have the book, oh, I have it right here. Get a copy of Romy Neustadt's Get Over Your Damn Self. Okay, you're welcome. If you don't like to read, get the audiobook. Read it like it's the business Bible. In fact, read it twice and get the audiobook and listen to that twice. Then let me know how much you love it, because it's the best network marketing book ever written, and I've read a lot of them. So go and get Romy's book. Trust me, you will love it. There's a lot of books out there. This is the best one. I also love, if you know me, I love me some Gloria Mayfield Bakes, baby. Vitamin G, she's amazing. Michelle Cunningham, she's also awesome. Jenna Kutcher, Rachel Hollis, Girl Wash Your Face. So do that every day for 21 days. Listen to 5, even if it's 5 minutes, whatever you can spare, right? Do that for 21 days straight, and then let me know what happens. I guarantee it'll make a difference. So let's do this last one, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So, okay, so here's the big truth bomb, okay? So talk nicely to yourself, treat yourself well, right? And know that you will fail, people will say no, and shit will go south more than once. And guess what? It's all good, right? Truth bomb. This business requires you to absorb a massive amount of shit. like a massive amount. Okay. Negativity, failure, no's, rejection, Debbie Downers, naysayers, the people that say network marketing is a pyramid scheme, the people that say I'll spend $100 on Kylie Jenner's lip gloss, but I won't spend $5 on yours to support you and your family. Listen, I have been there, done it. I've heard it all. Okay. In 5 short years, I have heard it all. And most of it was in the very beginning. Okay. So my husband and pretty much my entire family squawking about pyramid schemes, right? Insert major eye roll here. Person on the phone who filled out a form willingly, gave me her info, filled out a piece of paper in her own handwriting, allowing me to call her, being rude to me, hanging up on me, right? I've hung up and cried. I've threatened to quit multiple times. I've had literally 37 people say no back to back until I wanted to cry myself to sleep. I hosted an open house where 2 people showed up and bought $7 in products. I've driven 45 minutes to see one customer and she spent, I kid you not, $17.53, did not even cover my gas to get there, right? And she didn't know, right? But I drove there for 45 minutes because I was desperate to have enough money to pay my mortgage that month. And I didn't know how I was going to put food on the table. She spent $17.53 and I cried the whole 45 minutes home. I've had $0 parties. I've had team members quit. I've seen it all, right? But 5 years and I'm still at it. Okay. So I never stopped and I never quit. Why? Why didn't I do that? Right? Okay. So you ready? So every loss has a lesson. Okay. The lesson for all of us is that for every loss, there's a victory. Every sadness, there's a joy. Okay. And if you think you've lost everything, there's hope. So not to sound cheesy, but I don't know why this thing is yelling me. There we go. You know, the girl that I drove 45 minutes and she only spent $17.53, which I very clearly, I feel that one, right? I didn't quit after that. Nope. I sat in my car and I cried and I said, okay, it's time to get to work, right? I said, you know, I need to adjust my goals a little bit. I said, I need to have, you know, a minimum. If I'm going to go out and I'm going to do a facial, in Mary Kay, you do single facials or you do parties, right? 2 or more. So I started to tell myself, okay, if I'm going to be driving more than 15 minutes, they've got to bring a friend, right? They've got to either bring a friend or host a party. I started doing hostess coaching, right? I started learning. You know, someone hangs up on me, I'm like, okay. Oh, one of my favorite things. Oh, Cindy. Oh my God, I can't think of her last name, but she's a wonderful, wonderful woman. She's a national executive director with Mary Kay. Her last name escapes me, but her name is Cindy. I can picture her face and I just love her. And she would call somebody and she'd say, hi, this is Cindy, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to book a party? The person said no. She'd say, okay. She'd say, well, they're going to go wrinkle. Right? Because Mary Kay, you know, it's all about reversing aging, keeping your face looking good. So every time somebody says no to you, you're like, okay, they're going to go wrinkle. Right? So it's not on you, guys. You got to remember one of the other pieces to this truth bomb is that it's not you. Right? We get so caught up in our feelings and we're like, oh my God, I called that person and my products are so awesome and this and that. It's not you. It's the other end of the phone. They might have 5 kids running around behind them. She's trying to make dinner. She's trying to make lunch. She's trying to, you know, keep her mental game together. She's hanging on by a thread of sanity. She's had a bad experience in the past. I mean, there's a million things that can be going on in her head. So I think if I leave you with any golden nugget today, it's this. It's do not prejudge people. Don't prejudge people. Don't assume that you know what's going on with the person on the other end, right? Your goal when you speak to a prospect is to find out what is a problem they're facing and if your product or service solves that problem. Stop worrying about sales, okay? Stop worrying about what you're selling. Stop worrying about all the monetary things, okay? I know we just talked about setting goals, and I know we just talked about them being SMART goals, but this is what needs to happen. That's for you, okay? Now, you've got to transition when you get in front of a client or a prospect, okay? You've got to make a transition. When you get in front of somebody that is going to listen, throw everything out. It's not about you. Throw everything out the door. Just throw it out. In fact, I'm gonna shut off my share now because I want you guys to focus on what I'm saying, okay? Set your goals, know what you want to do, know why you want to do it, know how you're going to get there, okay? But when you get in front of someone who is going to listen to you and what you have to offer and potentially buy from you, book a party, whatever it might be, okay? Throw all that out the window. Doesn't matter. You have to laser hyper focus on that person. You have to create a dialogue with them. You have to get to know them, right? When, I don't know if I said this last week, but when I did my first event as Mary Kay, my first vendor event, and I was, my unit was a multi-time pink Cadillac unit. My director at the time had been the number one in the entire company in both sales and recruiting multiple times. She studied under Gloria Mayfield Banks. I mean, she was creme de la creme, if you will. Okay. And you know what she said to me? She said, when you go to a show, when you go to any event, when someone comes to your table, you put your hand out and you say, "Hi, my name is Dayna. Tell me about you." Not, "Hey, I'm Dayna with Mary Kay, and these products are so great, and I'd love to show them to you. And would you like a sample?" No, none of that. Forget all of that in the beginning. A person comes into your space that wants to know about your products, that wants to know about your service. Forget everything else and focus on them. Who are they? What do they need? What do they want? What problem do they have that you can solve? Create that connection with them. Make a connection, make a friendship, make an acquaintanceship, whatever you want to do, but focus on them. And God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that same capacity. Listen twice as much as you speak, okay? Let them tell you, ask them questions that will guide them. Ask them open-ended questions, not yes/no questions, that will get them speaking to you. And they're going to tell you everything they want. And they're going to tell you what their problem is. And at some point, you're going to be taking notes and you're going to be like, "Oh, she just said that, she gets occasional breakouts," and I'm just spitballing off the top of my head. She just said she gets occasional breakouts and her skin gets oily and, blah, blah, blah. She is an excellent candidate for the Clear Proof product because now you're not saying this out loud, you're saying this in your head. She's a great candidate for the Clear Proof product. So when you go to speak to her, you're like, "Hey, I remember you said that you were struggling with, having oily skin and having occasional breakouts. Have you ever tried a product line that's, specifically geared towards, acne and oily skin?" And she'll probably say, "Yeah, I tried a bunch of things. They don't work." Or she'll say, "No, I haven't tried anything." So let's say she says, "Yeah, I've tried a bunch of things and they don't work." So in your brain that you can say to her, "Well, if you like, we have this product. It's called the Clear Proof system. And, I've personally used it and it's done wonders for my skin. I have several clients that are on the system and they've seen, really great results. And I'd love to maybe send you a sample of that for you to try." Or, right, maybe you've got, like Mary Kay has these little tiny kits. Maybe they want to try, the smaller version of the full set. Start with that, because if she's like, "Oh, okay," now give her some benefits, right? Okay, so it's clinically proven to show results within the first 10 days. It is you know, it's listed as, you know, the number one in its product category, you know, so on and so forth. Give her the benefits, but speak to what she says is the problem that she had, right? So problem, she told you her problem, you identified you have a product that can solve it, give her the benefits of why it's great, and then give her the option of maybe either getting a sample, or she might just say to you, you know what, that sounds awesome, let me go ahead and purchase that. And then you just say, great, I'm going to send you my link to check out right now. Or great, would that be credit card or cash? So hyper focus on building rapport and relationship with your potential customer, and hyper laser focus on them and their needs. And I guarantee you that it's going to make you more successful. It's going to get you more clients. It's going to get you more parties, and you are going to crush your goals. Crush them. See it? You can't see my pen. There it is. Crush your goals. So be obsessed with success and relentlessly pursue your goals and dreams. And I'm telling you, girls, it will change everything for you. So, and guys, I know we have some guys now. It used to be that we only had girls in the group. So enjoy your day. I'm sorry that we didn't have Ron today. I apologize. He was under the weather, but we're going to reschedule with him because, man, it's a whole lot of fun to do the education by entertainment programs that he has. So we'll definitely reschedule with him. I hope you guys got some value and some golden nuggets out of this today. And next week we have a marketing superstar. I'm so excited about this. We have Ben DeCastro, who is just an amazing human being, and I'm so excited we're going to have him. He was the mastermind behind Cardi's Furniture for many years. He was the marketing manager, or the marketing guru, I should say, way more than just a manager. He was the marketing mastermind behind the Nairobi campaigns, and I'm so excited to pick his brain for some knowledge about building a business. So go out and be awesome today, and I will see you next week, and enjoy the week. Bye.